This year Ukraine celebrates the 30th anniversary of independence. This is a good reason to learn something new about our country. Moreover, you can collect dozens of records and interesting facts about Ukraine. Ukraine is the largest country that is located entirely on the European continent. Its area is 603,548 square kilometers, which is 5.7% of Europe and 0.44% of the world. Ukrainian trombita is the longest wind musical instrument in the world. This is recorded in the Guinness Book of Records. The length of the trombita, which looks like a wooden pipe with a diameter of about 30 millimeters, ranges from 2.5 to 8 meters. Trombita was used as a means of communication in mountain villages. With its help they informed about the beginning and end of the working day, the birth of children, weddings, approaching danger, etc. The most famous Ukrainian song in the world is Shchedrik. This is a Christmas folk song recorded over 100 years ago by the Ukrainian composer Mykola Leontovich. An English-language version of Shchedrik called Carol of the Bells has become one of the most popular Christmas songs in the West. Arsenalnaya metro station in Kyiv is the deepest in the world. It goes underground for 105 meters. The station was built one of the first, in 1960. Before the destruction by the Mongol Tatars in 1240, Kyiv was one of the largest cities in Europe, 50 times the size of London, and 10 times the size of Paris. Kreshcheduk is the shortest central street of the capital in Europe. Its length is 1225 meters. In terms of black soil area, Ukraine ranks 4th in the world after Russia, the USA and China. One of the oldest constitutions in the world was adopted in Ukraine on April 5, 1710. This was done by Pelop Orlik, the headman of the Zaporizhian army. It was called the Constitution of the Rights and Freedoms of the Zaporizhian Army. In the United States, the Constitution was adopted in 1787, in France and Poland in 1791. The very first constitution in the world is considered to be the Statute of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania of 1529. During this period, Ukraine was part of the Principality. The only underwater river in the world, discovered by British scientists in 2010, is located in the Black Sea. Elements characteristic of surface rivers, such as banks, floodplain, rapids and waterfalls, were found near the underwater artery. The river carries colossal volumes of water 22,000 m3 second. If it flowed on land, it would take the 6th place in the world in terms of full flow. Near the village of Delevo, not far from the town of Rakov, Transcarpathian region, there is the geographical center of Europe. This is not the only center of the continent, since the calculation of coordinates depends on the calculation methodology, but one of the 5 universally recognized, others are in Lithuania, Belarus, Slovakia and Poland. Ostroh Academy is the first institution of higher education in Eastern Europe. In 1576, it was founded by Prince Ostrozhsky Konstantin Vasily. The Vilna Academy, now the University of Vilnius, also claims the championship because it was founded on the basis of a higher school organized back in 1570. However, according to the documents, the Lithuanian University opened in 1579, that is, 3 years later than the Ukrainian one. Freedom Square in Kharkov is the largest in Europe. Its length reaches 750 meters, and its width is 125 meters. In 2008, the square hosted a charity concert by Queen with lead singer Paul Rodgers, which set a record for the group in terms of the number of spectators in its entire history. According to the press service of the group, more than 300,000 people gathered on the square. Of the 6 monasteries in the world that have the status of a lavra, 3 are located in Ukraine. These are the Holy Dormition Kiev-Petrovsk Lavra in Kyiv, the Holy Dormition Lavra in Podchiv, and the Svyatogorsk Holy Dormition Lavra in the Donetsk region. Orthodox Christians consider the Kiev-Petrovsk Lavra the second most important place of religious worship after Jerusalem, and the architectural ensemble of the Lavra is listed by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage Site. Ukrainians are mentioned in the Guinness Book of Records more than 50 times. Here are various sporting achievements, and the heaviest airliner in the world, the Mriya, and unique records that are hard to even imagine. For example, one of the latest Ukrainian record holders today is Anatoly Boyko from the city of Vladimir Volinsky, who is called the Ukrainian Fabergé. He turns ordinary bird eggs into works of art using patterns from the smallest holes. In April 2021, the master set 2 world records. He drilled 33.3 thousand holes in a chicken egg and 52.7 thousand holes in a goose. One of the most famous songs in the world, summertime composer George Gershwin wrote under the impression of the lullaby "Oh, Sleep Around the Windows" performed by the Ukrainian National Choir, which he heard in New York. The summertime aria was written for the opera Porgy and Bess in 1935. It is believed that in terms of the number of different performances, the aria is ahead of the legendary song Yesterday by the Beatles.